Hey guys, this is Locke. This is another game recommendation that I have, and I actually strongly recommend this to anybody that likes strategy games. Uh, there's quite a few really interesting mechanics in this game that I have not seen implemented before. Um, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how this review is going to go, and then I'm going to show you it. So first of all, I'm just going to go through some some features, look at some of the characters and stuff like that, and then I'm going to go into the PvP because anybody that follows this channel knows that I really like PvP, and the PvP in this game is actually really interesting. So there's two different types of PvP. There is like an arena PvP where you choose your opponent and you can fight manually, while the arena opponent is controlled by the computer. So there's that like arena type battle, and then there's also this live PvP battle where both you and your opponent are both battling each other. And the really interesting thing is that against the arena, you are fighting like you are playing manually against your opponent. However, in the live PvP one, both of the players are actually battling on auto, but you still have a lot of control over how your characters behave. And I think they did it really nicely. So I am really looking forward to showing you that. So the bulk of this review is actually gonna focus on the PvP stuff. I have some example games that I've done that I can show you. But first of all, I'm just gonna take a few minutes just to show you like some of the features. Um, for the features, I think it's actually kind of similar to like the other games, like how it's set up. There is a gacha, so you summon. There are different banners that you can try to summon from, and there are different types of characters. I think you can see them here. Like there's S tier, A tier, B, and C. Obviously, the S tier is the ultra rare cards that you want to get. They only have like a 2% chance of getting them. That's pretty similar to other games as well. And then here you can see the contestants, which is basically your units. So you can see the units that you have. And I don't know. I think I think the style is pretty interesting. Style of units that they have. They actually have quite a few skills. A lot of the people that are watching this probably know me from the other game that I play called War of the Visions, and I think War of the Visions is still a lot more detailed when it comes to the decisions that you can make in like say manual live PvP, because there's just so many skills that units have. You have a ton of skills, so you can do a ton of actions. And here the skills are really kind of limited, but it's really interesting the choices that they give you with the skills. So I will kind of dig into that a little bit later. But if you click on this here, you can see that each unit has a max of 6 skills. And of these, like a couple, like the ones at the bottom are passive, so you really only have like 3 active type of skills that you can use, and then 3 other passive skills. Um, what other features are there? There is resource type battles. So first of all, in the battle, so this is the story, the where it says continue stage. That's the story kind of battle, and the PvP. So there's the 2 different types of PvP that I talked about, and then there's a resource collection. So you can like for example, the first one here gives you items to increase the level of your characters. I haven't actually done all of these yet, so I don't know exactly what they are, but it's things like that. So that's all I was gonna say really for the features, because like we've seen more or less similar features in different styles in different games, but I really think the battling and the PvP aspect of this is really different. So I want to go into that. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the like an overview of the battle, and then I'm gonna show you some examples. So I'm gonna go into one of the units, and I'm gonna talk about it. So let's say okay, this person, right? So this is a healer type of unit, and if you look at the skills, um, this is a grid-based system. So whenever you move and your opponent is in a like you can attack the opponent. Whenever you move to a block that's red, you will automatically attack. However, this first skill here, they will I've seen in the game that instead of a red square, sometimes the square will be pink. And if you go on the pink square, it will cast this first skill. So I haven't exactly figured out how to aim with this thing, because you might have 3 or 4 opponents, and you might want to attack a particular opponent, but you can only land on a certain square with the pink square sometimes. And I'm not sure exactly how to maneuver it yet, but that just adds to complexity in my opinion, and kind of makes it more interesting and fun. Like if you want, you can all kind of gang up on the one opponent and kill him by using like a normal attack, or you can use the pink square, the special attack, and do like an upgraded effect or something. and you don't really like you don't have control over it, right? Like sometimes you might not have control over the pink square, like where exactly you want to land for it. And the effect, like if you look at this effect, the first normal attack is just a normal attack, but the skill attack, in addition to just doing some damage, it also heals your allies that has the lowest health and gives a shield. So that's pretty interesting, right? Like it's so much better than just like a normal basic attack. If you look at somebody like this who is a damage dealer, so his skill attack is actually pretty easy uh, to target, because if ever there is two or more opponents in a line, the skill symbol just comes up, so you can just go and stand on that block and attack all three in a row. So like I hope you like. I know this isn't very clear, but hopefully, when you're seeing an example, you can kind of understand better. But this is just kind of showing you that this is kind of complex, like the mechanics behind it, in my opinion, anyway. And I mean, this is the first day I'm playing, so it seems like it's a bit, maybe it's new and I don't quite understand it. But just at a first glance, it seems like pretty complex and interesting at the same time. Now, for the other skills, the skill number 2 and skill number 3. So all your units, you can take up to, like in like a normal stage you take 4 when you're doing like story modes, but in different stages I've taken 5 and I've taken 3. In PvP I've actually taken 8, and well, that's another story, so I'll get into the 8 later. But basically all of your units share one resource that's at the bottom right corner, and they get to use, like, so it says, this skill costs 4 meta, right? So all your units share meta. It goes up to 20. So if I'm at 20 out of 20 meta, and this unit called King uses the skill, that'll go to 16. So the next unit that comes up, if I want to use this as meta skills, well, it'll be at 16. So I'll have to like really manage my meta to make sure that I conserve it for the units that I really want to use. And like every unit has like an ultimate meta, so that costs a lot more than the regular meta skill. So this one costs 8 instead of 4. If you look at some other units, well, some of them are like more interesting, so they have like weird skills. But if you look at this guy, for example, this skill costs 9 meta and this one costs 5. So on and so on. So that's a little bit explaining some of the mechanics. I wanted to give you an overview first of the mechanics before I actually show you the battle, because I think there's a lot to talk about in the battle. So I didn't want to get too overwhelmed. So that's why I'm doing this. But I hope you bear with me and stick around to watch the actual battle, because I think that's where you will learn like more of what this is about. So just hang tight. So now I'm going to show you an example of this like arena type battle where I can control my units manually, but I'm playing against the computer controlled opponent. So as you can see, I can bring 8 units, but I might not always have a chance to use all 8. So that's what I mean. I think that the live PvP, the arena mechanics is really, really interesting. So just take a look. So first of all, I get to choose all 8 units, and then I can actually set them in different positions. This is the default position, so this is the one that I'm setting for this fight. And as the fight begins, I actually can only select 3 of my units to use. So I select the 3 units, and my opponent also selects whatever 3 units that he wants. And then after every turn, I get to either choose one more of my units, or I get to give one of the 3 units that I already have on the field a buff. And the buff is like a heal, and it also increases their damage and everything. I mean, I thought it was really interesting just giving that choice. So this opponent seems really easy, so I'm easily able to beat him. And this was the first time actually, this is the second battle that I actually did in this game. So I actually beat this guy by killing all of the units that he has on the field before he has a chance to summon more units, and that already won me the game. So what that means is that basically, if you're only using 3 units, and you keep buffing your 3 units, and your opponent somehow kills all 3 units before you get a chance to summon more, you lose the game. Or you could summon units every turn and keep your units unbuffed and don't heal them. And I mean, there are pluses and minuses for each, right? And you can do half and half as well. You can choose which turns to buff and which turns not to buff. So I thought it was just really interesting, the choice that they give you with that. So I've never played a game that gives you a choice like this before, so I thought it was really interesting. Now in this game, I think this opponent was a lot stronger, so the game actually lasts a lot longer. So I can show you some of the mechanics. So you can see that this guy went to a pink square over there. The pink square means he used a skill. Any green square means you get a shield, like a defense buff. Any white square is like a movement. So my first unit used a skill. My second and third unit just used like a defense buff or a movement buff or something. Um, so I chose to bring another unit to the game, and so you can see this is a red square. If I land on the red square, he will use a normal hit. If I land on a pink square, I will use a skill. And sometimes like I don't get the like, as you can see in the previous time, there was only one pink square. Maybe I wanted to hit a different opponent, right? So I had to really choose if I want to do a normal hit, or do I just want to use like a skill hit, but I don't really have much control over who exactly is being targeted with that skill, or if there's a way to target. I don't know it yet, but I really thought that was really interesting. Um, and yeah, this battle kind of drags on a little bit more, but you can see like because you only bring three, and you don't know who your opponent is bringing. Like you can adapt to whoever your opponent is bringing, right? Like you can maybe use five of your eight characters and just keep buffing those five over your turns and beat your opponent if you have like the counter units to my opponent's to whoever my opponent is bringing. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was very well done. Like the system itself, I thought it was very well done. I highly recommend this game for fans of tactics type of battles. There's also something called a combo. So basically, you see that yellow square. If one of my units lands on that yellow square, both the unit that I'm moving and the unit that's already on the yellow square get to attack the same turn. So I get like an extra attack, and I can only use that yellow square, that combo, once a turn. So one turn is when all of these units move once. So I have to really choose who I want to do that combo on, because if I use it, then I might not be able to use it again for like until everybody else moves, right? And again, like I might not have control over who exactly is being targeted by going on that square. So maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to, um, go to a different square where I can target who I'm going to attack with a skill or like a normal hit or something. So I feel like the layers of complexity that this game has just was like really well done. So I highly recommend it. So anyway, this is the arena type battle. So I can control my units. I can also actually set this on auto as well. So I can set it on auto if I want, or I can control it. But my opponent is controlled by the computer. Now this next battle that I'm going to show you is a live PvP battle. And you can see at the bottom there are three skills. I actually didn't even realize that those were skills. I didn't even look at it. I just kind of went with it. And I decided to kind of change my like battle positions a bit. So I was using the default position. I was like, oh, maybe I can try one of the other ones. So I decided to go with this one. And honestly, I didn't even know exactly what all these units do. And I found out for the live PvP battle, actually, your units' levels don't matter. So they're all maxed out. So I think that's really good, right? And it seems like most of the ranking is actually based on the live PvP battle. So you don't need to get like maxed out units. You can pull a fresh level 1 unit and play with it, and that will be at like the max stat. That's what it says at the bottom anyway. Consistent stats are fixed and do not reflect their level outside of this mode. And when I look over here, I didn't see any, like usually it says like level 1 or level 30 or whatever level I've leveled them to. I don't see that information on this mode. So it looks like all of them are maxed. So that's great. That's like, really good for the lower end of players, because if you want to really max the unit, you actually have to pull it like several times. I don't know if there's resources in the games to actually let you use like a substitute or something to max it. I don't know. I haven't gotten too far yet. So I think it's really great that they've fixed the level for these like live PvP type battle. So anyway, as you can see, again, when we start, I can choose the units that I am bringing into the battle, and my opponent does the same. Now I was like, oh, I accidentally pressed auto, but then I realized that I couldn't turn off auto. I was trying to click the auto button, but so this live PvP, the mode, it's actually already like it's playing out in an auto battle, so you don't actually have time to, you can't actually control your characters, but you can choose who to send out, and you can choose who to buff and heal. And at the right there, you can see the three skills. So I didn't know what these skills actually did yet, so I was just like playing around with it. It's my first battle, to be honest. So so you still have, quite a bit of impact on the game because of those two decisions. So I feel like, for people that know me from What Are the Visions, like, people hate camping and stuff like that. So that doesn't happen in this game, especially in live PvP, because the battle is done on auto. But you can choose, as I said, who to buff, who to send out, at what time to send out, your three skills at the bottom. As you can see, there's a counter that goes from, I guess, 1 to 15. And as you're using those three skills, that counter lower, like, goes down. So, like, I've been using that two skill for a while to shield somebody. So I never got a chance to use the my ultimate skill. I think that was like eight of that cost. So I don't actually know what it does, but maybe the next time I'll try it out. Um, and like you can see, like, I was getting a bit worried because I only had two units in the field, and if he kills those two units, I might have lost. So I had to bring another one out. Um, what else is there? I think. Oh, and then there's five different types. I think that's kind of common as well. Like, in a lot of other games, there is like, I don't know what they're called. They're like fighter and sniper or something. But basically, like, three types. It's like rock beats paper, paper beats scissors. Wait, no, the other way around. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. Yeah, so they have those three at the top there. You can see the top right corner. There's a blue, red, and orange type, and then they also have like the dark and light type that counter each other as well. Um, yeah, I mean, it's like, there are a lot of elements in this game that are very similar to others, but there are also like really interesting mechanics. And I really like that they, for the live PvP battle, that they set all the units to be the same level. So that's a really neat feature. I didn't know they did that until I actually started playing it here. Overall, I feel like this game has a lot of potential. Um, so I'm probably going to be sticking around and playing this one for a while. So I mean, if you guys are fans of tactics type games, I would, again, strongly recommend that you guys give this game a shot, a try, a shot, um, and see how you like it. I'm gonna stop talking now, but I mean, if you want to enjoy more of this game, feel free. The name of the game is Aotu. I don't know how to say it. Atu, I think. So just search for it in the App Store. It released yesterday. Anyway, if I hope you guys give this a game a try. That's it for me. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.